Hello everybody who is here. Welcome. I'll try to look at you. I mean the hole on the side here. So I can't make it. Oh shit. I just have an iPhone. I'm going to talk about Sjögren syndrome again. And to my big surprise, I choose to talk about the eyes. Because when I have looked at the videos I've done, I find it very, very irritating that I am blinking so much. And oh gosh, it's so hard to film yourself when you're old and wrinkled, and the symptoms of Sjögren's really it's all over the place. Yeah, and I have this need to explain if anybody wants to know why. When it comes to the eyes and my blinking, people guess that it's tics. That's the first guess. It can be perhaps Tourette's syndrome, or I don't know what they think. I just know that if I say that I have Sjögren's syndrome, they just go away. They never stay and say, what is that? They don't want to know. But you who are looking here probably want to know, otherwise you wouldn't be looking, would you? My mission here is to try to fill out the gaps and to make you a bit surprised. Yeah, so I have another angle on many things. I'm going to talk about the problem with having too many tears. Too much of them. Yeah, now you wonder, what? Well, it's not all the time. It's sometimes. The beginning of the story, how I got my diagnosis, was that I was at a camp in a Swedish forest in June, and we had to get up at 7:30 in the morning and go to another place to eat. And when I came out, I was sort of struck by the winds and my eyes couldn't cope with it. I blinked and I blinked, and the nerves, they contracted, and there were just a big flood of tears. And later on it would calm down. And the reason is that the melatonin level is very high in the night to make you sleep, but also to repair your body. But if you're autoimmune, it will not be reparation, it will be torture. Yeah. So arthritic flare-ups, they are, there's no word for the pain in the night. It's beyond limits. But then when the day comes, whew, and the melatonin withdraws, then it gets much, much better. And then it's the same with Sjögren's. So to go out early, that's a big stress on the eyes. They cannot cope with the cold wind. Oh, it wasn't cold, but chilly. I'm not good at handling wind. So after 1 week in the forest, I looked like an owl. I had wounds around the eyes. I don't want to look like an owl since I am a nerd. And I've tried to hide it as a grown-up person, having contacts, trying to look like anybody, and now it was time to throw away the contacts, going back to being a visible nerd. I went to an eye doctor as soon as I came home with the wounds around my eyes. Well, he put drops in my eyes, he had special instruments, and he had deep look into my eyes, and then he said, well, you have Sjögren syndrome. Okay. why not? So, what's up, Duck? Well, the problem is that this disease attacks the glands that produce tears. And what happens is that your tears, they are sick. They cannot produce, and the body cannot produce the real tears that you need. But there are some ingredients that are missing in your tears. And I can guess that what's missing is what is where there is more lubrication, more fat. The gel. This is Visco Tears, my best friend. I've used it for very many years. I really love it. And yeah, it's a gel. It's like fat, one could say, that I use extremely much. Boy, I need a discount on this. I'm a big consumer. Well, anyway, so the problem is not that there are too little tears. That's what I can read. The problem is the ingredients is in the tear liquid, that it is sick, it is wrong, it is not as it should be. That's a problem. And that's why I get problem when I go out. And but when I'm indoors, yeah, that it isn't good then either. That's when the eyes become too dry. So yes, I have the problem with too dry eyes too. I have both. Well, I don't know what to say. Yeah, that he said that the body doesn't want to give up. You are now on plan B. And plan B, that is that the nerves close to the glands, they will work hard, very hard, to produce more tears, more sick tears. But if there's a flood of tears when you go out, it will protect your retina. And if not, then you will be hurt. The retina will be hurt. The plan is extremely wise. The body, I mean, is extremely wise. I'm very tired. You know, that's the problem with making a vlog about fatigue diseases. That you're always too tired to make them. And I'm not going to give up yet. I had a gig, and they you know that most Swedes are singer-songwriters. I guess the whole world knows that now. Yeah, I mean the climate is awful. So we have to make something to keep the spirits up, and the music is the best thing ever to lift us up. Well, somebody told me after the gig, they said that they liked it, that my songs were really nice. It was all very good. But they also said, poor thing, such terrible tics she has. And that's when I threw my contacts away and bought glasses. And then I could buy thinner glasses than when I was a child. That made me happy. I mean, it wasn't as bad as before. And now I am disappearing here. I haven't made any notes. um, okay, here comes the story. It was last summer. I was strolling along the coast, along the fjord, and there are benches you can sit down. And I did, and I was walking, I was sitting down, and a man came up to me, a Swedish man in my age, and he talked to me, some small talk, do, just a little bit. But that never happens. Swedes don't contact strangers. They don't talk to each other. So I thought, oh wow, what happened here? And then it happened once more that summer, that a really nice man came up and talked to me. Unfortunately, I had my assistant with me, so I couldn't explain that. They can think anything. Why do I need an assistant? Well, it's because I have multiple diseases. We had a really interesting conversation. We have had some ideas that were similar. Yeah, he really liked me, and we could have gone and taken a coffee, but no, not now. And I met the third man that summer. I talked 2 hours, I think, with him about politics. He was a refugee from an ex-communistic country, and it was very interesting. But after this summer, I had to think, what's going on? I mean, men in your age, they never come up and talk to you. And then I tried to make a little film on my iPhone. And I thought, God, I am blinking, I'm flirting, especially one eye, I'm a flirting machine. I'm just flirting all the time. I've been sitting on benches. It's unbelievable. I have Asperger's syndrome, and I don't know how to contact Swedish men because they're introvert. I don't know how you do it. I can't do it. And then I am saved by Sjögren syndrome that makes the flirting automatic. Yeah. If I knew that, if that had happened earlier, I didn't have to go abroad and find an American man, to find a Scottish man, to have relationships outside Sweden, where they have a courting system that men take the initiative to contact with the woman. In Sweden, it is basically the woman who has to take that contact. Yeah, well, anyway. I think I've said something that could be useful. Something in what I said could be useful. And since I am this tired, I think I will stop here. And I wish you the best. I wish you will not dry out as much as this. But if it happens, you might get a husband as a bonus. Who knows? Have a nice day. Bye.